this is important. You actually need to listen up. I'm going to show you something. Okay, so on live servers currently, all right, and there's a reason you should listen. Even if you don't care about Awakening Berserker, there's a reason you should care about this. All right, a point is about to be proven. On live servers currently, Awakening Berserker, when he does Giant Leap, that's his big Giant Leap back, he's supposed to be able to do 2 of them. But since reboot, there was a bug that only allowed him to do 1. And in today's most recent patch, this bug has not been fixed for 8 months. And this patch does not say on Giant that this bug was fixed. But if you look here on the Global Lab servers, if you look, the bug no longer happens. It's fixed. Now, what does this mean? Why is this important to you guys, and why should you listen now? This bug has been posted on Discord servers. This bug was sent in through tickets. This bug was posted on the NAEU forums for 8 months. It never was fixed. Ming went onto the Korean forums and posted that he is from NA and that this bug exists on 22/7/29, 11 days ago, and they fixed it. After 8 months of posting it on NA, sending it through NA tickets, talking about in EU Discord servers, within 2 weeks of posting the bug on the Korean forums, the bug was fixed.
All right. I gotta make this really, really clear. This video is just speculation and a discussion, okay? This is not anything else other than that. And I'm just gonna ask questions and then just kind of like concerns. This is pretty much where this is just, I guess, an open letter to PA at this point. I'm lost. You're confusing me. Let's talk about the Armin situation first, okay? That shit bugs the fuck out of me because my main concern about that is there a Korean bias towards like the way they handle shit? Which I know the obvious meme answer, like, oh, of course it's a Korean development team, of course they're gonna pay attention, but like, are they not properly taking our feedback? Like, unless a Korean player reports it, are they not going to give a shit? Is that how it works? Because I'll quit this game right fucking now if that's the case. Now, I want to share a story because I have experience with actual like bug reports and a bug fix. I had direct contact with the CM. I won't name anybody, but I found a bug, and it was at Hex Sanctuary. If you did a node war, or just in Calpheon in general, if you did a node war over there, and you use the memory optimization button on console within that area, you would crash the game on demand. You could not use the memory optimization button at all. Like, if you did it at all, it insta crashed the game. I was able to recreate it multiple times. I recorded me recreating it. I put it in partner feedback, and I added a CM, and they got to me within about like a couple hours. And they were all over it. They were like, we were able to recreate the issue. We're going to look into this and we're going to get it fixed. It was fixed in like one or two updates. Like, it was literally fixed immediately. So the idea for me that they're not paying attention to feedback, or that they're not good at relaying issues or something like that, I don't think is entirely accurate. I think that there may be some truth there to some degree about certain topics and discussions, but when it comes to bugs, usually if they are able to recreate the issue, which was in the case that was explained to me, is that if they can recreate it, they can fix it, because then they can isolate the issue for whatever they do. And as I said, my issue that I reported got fixed immediately. Like that shit was dealt with on the spot pretty much within a couple hours, and then the next update or the update after that, it was dusted. That problem was no longer there. Now, the problem with my story versus Armin's story is that Zerker bug has been there for months, and you can recreate it on demand at any given time. Guido has multiple examples, multiple recordings, even a video dedicated strictly on YouTube to the subject. And you're telling me that if you can recreate the issue, you can fix it. That's what I was told. That's literally that's what happened with my situation. So the Zerkers, you could ask a new Zerker off the street that just started playing 5 minutes ago, and he can recreate that problem in an instant. Like, you don't need to be a Zerker veteran to recreate that problem. Like, that's just a bug that naturally happens with with fucking Giant Sleep. So what is the issue, and why did you take so long to fix it? And that's the main thing, is that I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Like, I guess, let me ask the question, okay? Is there a reason that the moment Ming posted on the Korean website and then within 2 weeks it was fixed? Is there a reason for that? Was it coincidence? Because I feel like that's the safe answer. It's coincidence. Genuinely, I feel like that's the safest answer, is pure coincidence. Like, oh, we were already in the process of fixing it and Ming just happened to post at this time and we just fixed it shortly after. It was just mere coincidence. But then if you say that, my next question is, okay, if that's the case, why did it take you 8 months to fix something that is a core function of a character? Because you literally don't seem to realize that Giant Sleep is a huge part of Zerker's kit when it comes to PvP. It's our disengage and sometimes our engage. And when you don't address a functional part of a character's kit for 8 months, that is severely alarming. And the next part that I have a problem with, which is just kind of this sort of disparity in my head, is that, okay, let's say there is a Korean bias. Are you telling me that there's not a single Korean Zerker that is aware of this Zerker bug and was not willing to report it? Like, there's just no shot. There's no shot. So, like, there's no way that there's Korean Zerkers out there that are just mute and they're not willing to post on the Korean forums and then have the issue looked at. There's just no shot. There's no way. I refuse to believe that. So Armin's kind of painting this narrative to where, like, I don't want to say like this is, maybe he's doing it on purpose. I have no idea. I'm just saying, like, the narrative that I'm getting from watching Armin's video is that the NA GMs and CMs on the forums are not active. They're not paying attention or maybe relaying information appropriately, which may have some truth to it. I have no idea. But when it gets posted on the Korean website, they're just on it right away. And like I said, the issue that I have with that second part about, you know, the Korean website is that there's just no shot that there's 0 Korean Zerkers that are not posting about that issue. I don't believe that. There's just no shot. There's no way. So then the question is, what is the issue? Because right now, Pearl Abyss is the most confusing game development company I've ever seen. Like, I've played a lot of games over the years. I've played a lot of MMOs. I've, you know, for years played World of Warcraft. I've been playing some New World recently. I played Lost Ark. I played Guild Wars. I've played literally almost any MMO you've named. I've played shit ass onigiri, bro. Okay, like, I'm a veteran. Like, I'm scarred for life. All right. And when it comes to confusing development decisions, Pearl Abyss takes the fucking cake. I don't understand how they take feedback. I genuinely don't, because I don't know if the NA team is properly forwarding NA's information. Like, I don't know if that's a thing, because it looks like they're not. Or the other option is that Korea doesn't take our information seriously, and the NA team does forward it and they disregard it, and then when Koreans start posting about it, then they take it seriously. At that point, that's a word I'm not gonna use. But outside of that sort of scenario and my concerns, I have to talk about this other side of their decision making. What the fuck are these nerfs and buffs? Like, what is actually happening? First, you nerf Shy. Already questionable as is, because that is basically a glorified life skiller class. And there are still some classes that will actually do better than a Shy, because they can, you know, speed grind much faster, and they can, you know, go from pack to pack to, you know, gather meat or herbs or whatever the fuck they're doing. So then, you know, Shy gets some nice love, some buffs, and then, you know, she becomes really good. You know, she's grinding Turos like a fucking god. She's, you know, she's grinded Olins like crazy, Zakrya like crazy. Like, she's really good now. She's a great grinder. And then shortly after, she receives some heavy nerfs to where, like, I don't want to say she's not viable, but like now she's nowhere near as good as she was, and that makes no sense. Makes zero sense. Why would you nerf a class that has barely a place in a game at all? Like, I don't get it. It makes no fucking sense to me. It's nothing short of confusing. It is mind-boggling how you have this honestly dead class. Because like it's not even really a dead class per se, because everyone has a shy. Everyone has a shy. That's just rule of thumb. When you play BDO, you always have to have at least one shy, and most people do. If they're worried about the shy being so overpowered, then like just buff the other fucking classes, because the only foreseeable issue with shy being good is that everyone plays a shy. But that's not the case. Like, not everyone is playing shy. Like, I would understand the nerf if like literally 90% of the player base was a shy. Like, I would totally get the nerf. But that is just not the case, unless in Korea that's the case, because it really seems like they do base a lot of their balancing off of Korea's player base, and they don't really pay too much attention to NA, which I guess, you know, cements the other concern that I have, but that's nor here or there, at least during this discussion. But for NA, console, and PC, and I would even argue EU as well, I don't think shy is that prevalent. Like, yeah, there are shy players that are going to Olins, they're going to Crypt, they're going to fucking Ash Forest and shit like that, and they're pulling decent numbers. But there is no way in fuck that everyone is going to play a shy just for those reasons. Like, there is just no way. Let me tell you something. If I do that, I'm only doing that to farm like Debarekas or something. And then the moment I get like a Tet or Pen Debareka, I'm just gonna go ahead and roll off the shy. Like, I would only use it as a tag or some shit. And then once I get what I get, I'm done with it. I'm never going to be a shy main. That's just a reality. So she can grind like an absolute god, but the moment I get what I want, I'm rolling off the shy. So if you're worried about shy players just be exceeding the player count, okay, I just buff other classes to where they can pull on par money. Like, that would be a better option than nerfing a class that was already dead prior to the buffs and then putting it back in the dirt. That's a far better decision. And then we get to the next part. They nerf Suck Striker. Now, Suck Striker has been very good at high end for a very long time. Olin's God, Ash Forest God, Crypt God, like you name it, Suck Striker can do it very well, very well. And the nerfs to it, once again, why are we nerfing PvE? You artificially inflate the prices on the market. At least that's how I see it, because there's just no shot. I refuse to believe within the first 2 weeks of fucking, price increase that people just have, 40-30 bill lying around, increasing the prices all the way up to 90 to 100 bill of items. There's just no way. Mind you, on console, we were barely making like 250 mil an hour at like the best grind spot. Like, that was legitimately the best you could do, more or less, on console. And then when we got the Gyfins rework and like the Kama rework in general, that shit went up to like 500 mil an hour, which is good. That's great. And then within 2 weeks, Crescents went from 30 bill all the way to like 70. Pen Necks went from 60 bill to 90. I think they're at 100 now. So you're telling me that people just started buying those items out within 2 weeks of that update? There's no shot. At 200 mil an hour prior to that update, there's no shot. You would have to be grinding 10 hours a day for like 3 months to make that kind of money. So in my opinion, they are artificially increasing the prices, which is bugging the fuck out of me, because now they're nerfing classes that do well at making money, which is, why are you trying to make this game Dark Souls? First of all, like, what the fuck? What? Listen, I log on to BDO to chill, PvP, hang out with friends, chill with homies, whatever, and grind casually, because I hate grinding. I hate it. I can't bring myself to do it anymore. It's absurd. It is completely absurd now that I just can't. I cannot do it. I do it for content because I know you guys want to know about the grind spots, but it physically drains me to do so. And when you increase the prices, nerf classes that are good at making money, it's literally like you're trying to stall the game. Like, you're trying to stop the flow of money, so that way players have to work harder, which makes like the elongated time to gear much slower, so that way you have time to like properly get content. It feels like a stall. Like, you're trying to just hold off everybody from progressing so fast, so that way you can appropriately like do whatever you want. I'm just speculating, but that's what it feels like to me. And I don't like that, because instead of giving us good content, and mind you, most people that I've talked to want paid PvP, like better RBFs. I was talking to Mercule the other day, the EU Suck Warrior, and he was like, dude, you know, RBF PvP, getting paid for that would be dope. And I asked him, what would be a reasonable amount of money that you would ask for RBF PvP payouts? And he was like, you know, 250 mil, 300 mil if you win, and then like 210 bare minimum, you know? And I was like, perfect. It doesn't replace grinding, but you can still do it and it would be good. You would have to, you know, RBF for like 4 hours a day just to make a bill. That's reasonable. That is totally reasonable compared to, you know, doing Gyphins for 2 hours and you make $1 billion. So I mean, it fits in. So most people want that kind of content. We don't want grind spots. Let me tell you, how many people are excited about Elvia? 0. That's probably not true, but like my circle and just the people that are like top players, they don't really care too much about Elvia. And the reason being is that it doesn't bring much to the table. Like Burgundy Den, first of all, that place is ass. That place is genuinely ass. 200 mil an hour, you can make more at trees. At fucking trees. So that's one spot in Elvia that's terrible. Fogans, I haven't been there yet, but from what I've seen on PC, again, nothing to write home about. It's nothing insane. And same for Castle Ruins. It's nothing insane. You're just going to these places so you can get the like cups for their accessories. So not only did you give us Elvia, which is cool, I get it, it's some content and some extra, you know, upgrades and things that we can work towards, but it's not fun. It's not fun shit. And then you nerf these classes that help like palette these grind spots and these like just long sessions. If I wanted to buy a pen neck right now, 90 billion, okay? Let's say I did it at Gyphins where it would take me 2 hours to make 1 billion, okay? So if I make 1 bill a day, all right? 1 bill a day, and then we do, let's say, times 7 for 7 days a week, 7 bill, and then we do 4 weeks for 4 weeks in a month, 28 billion silver. I can make 28 billion silver a month at making, you know, a bill a day. And then we times that for like 4 months. Okay, yeah, it would take me a little over 3 months to buy a pen neck. 3 months of grinding for 2 hours a day. That is so discouraging. That is so discouraging. And I mean, I could bump up the hours, you know, I could do, you know, let's say if I make 500 mil at Gyphins an hour, right? And then I do, let's say 5 hours. Okay, I'm making 2.5 bill a day. That's cool. That's tight. But guess what? Let's do the whole thing again. So 7 days a week, and then 4 weeks for a month, 70 bill, okay? And then we do that times 2 for 2 months. Okay, 2 months, I make 140 bill. So I essentially, it would take me a whole ass month and almost a month and a half at grinding 5 hours a day if I wanted to get it as fast as possible. Which, I mean, if we're talking fast as possible, I'd have to be grinding 10 hours a day, but I'm trying to do something that's feasible. So 5 hours, I feel like, is somewhat feasible for like the person that has a little bit more spare time. But if you're like a 9-to-5 worker and, you know, you're not whaling, dude, you're gonna be here for 3 months. And Elvia doesn't solve that issue at all. It doesn't solve the money problem, because everything's still too expensive. So not only are they nerfing classes that are good at grinding, but they're also increasing the prices of items, and then they're also like subsequently not fixing issues appropriately. And then another thing that I want to bring up, the random nerfs to shit, like Suck Musa. Suck Musa got some PvE nerfs. What the fuck? Who's playing Suck Musa? Who's doing that? There's got to be a Suck Musa out there that's secretly pulling like 80 billion like in 1 hour. Like there's got to be. And he just hasn't said a word to anybody. Like he's just out there one-shotting Olin mobs or something. Like there's gotta be a Suck Musa out there that is pulling absurd money towards like, yeah, we gotta fix that right away before word gets out. Like I refuse to believe that they took a look at Musa and they're like, yeah, that needs a nerf. Suck Musa? Do you know how many Suck Musas there are on console? I know a lot of people on console, like the main community of like the top guilds. I almost know just anybody that's notable on a class. And the only Suck Musa that is notable and is good is J-Ray. That is the only Suck Musa that is worth a damn. And he is very good, but he is not out here making Suck Musa look like it needs to be toned down under any circumstances. Like he's good on the class, but the problem is the class is not very good to begin with. So he can be as good as he wants, but he's always playing at a disadvantage, and that's fine. I know what that feels like. I played Zerk pre fucking Seismic. I know what that's like. So there's no shot that PA looks at Suck Musa and is like, yeah, that needs to be toned down. Like there's no way. So what is this decision making? What is this development process? What is anything anymore? 2022 is nothing but an enigma right now. I'm so confused, bro. Like I'm so absolutely lost with their decision makings. It's like they're just drunk 24/7. You know, I seen Jae-hee Kim at the Boston thing, and he's sitting there holding a beer, you know, sipping it down with the Coronas, and then ever since then he's just lost control. It's all downhill from there or something. Like what's going on? Fuck is happening? Fuck is going on? I literally want answers. I want to know if there's a Korean bias. You'll never admit that because that'd be the dumbest thing ever. But like, are you gonna correct it at the very minimum? Okay, like I guess you don't have to answer that question because you're not going to. You're not gonna answer any of these. But if there is a Korean bias, can you please stop? Because I would very much like to play the game on the same level as everybody, and to be fair, that would be cool. And if the problem is the NA staff not properly relaying information, please fire that staff. 100%. Replace them. Do anything you have to. Hire me and Guido. We'll submit applications. I will do justice for the NA side and the console community. I will make there will be change. All right, that's never gonna happen. But just know the door is open. And also, I would like some more communication on these balance updates. I would like to have more reasons as to why you're nerfing PvE stuff. There's no reason for that under any circumstances. It doesn't affect anything other than money grind, and that's terrible. Like if you're making the game harder for the sake of just, you know, you're bored or something, like I'll even take that as an answer, but I want an answer as to why you are making this game way harder than it needs to be. For new players, they're gonna look at the marketplace and be like, okay, pen items are how much money? All right, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close this fucking thing and go play some other game that's not gonna waste my time. So please, I'll take any answer. I'll take anything. Just give me something to work with, bro. Like give me literally anything to work with. But anyway, that's gonna be it. Let me know what you guys think about this because this is kind of insane. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.